Hello. Good morning, Texas, Louisiana. Thanks for joining in on Smart Money Culture TV. Good afternoon, East Coast US, and a lot of the rest of the world. Of course, it is still morning in other places as well, not just the western coasts of the US. Thanks for joining in, though. A lot going on, of course, with Smart Money Culture TV. Fly Mackey is doing a lot to grow the station. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, or grow, I should say, the audience as well. It's multiple stations that we're adding. Really excited about it, and really happy to have you guys joining us now twice a day. We're adding a third time as we speak. Hopefully next week we add this third time. So a lot going on there, and it is always fun to bring you the latest in news and finance and everything else here on your television set. So there's a lot going on. In just moments, the judge is expected to put out his ruling against President Trump in this New York fraud case. This is pretty interesting to me. I mean, it's kind of crazy because, normally if you have something like this, there has to be somebody that's hurt. Okay, I mean, that's kind of the rule of these types of things, right? So it begs to ask, so who was hurt? Who lost money? And there's no plaintiff. The only plaintiff is his political nemesis, is his people going after him that don't want him to be in the election. So pretty interesting situation we have on there. I am expecting a ruling here fairly soon, and it is expected that ruling is going to be against the Donald. We're talking about millions and millions of dollars of fines. And just to be clear, again, everything was paid back with interest. Everybody made money on the deal, and the judge is obviously, I mean, there's nothing else that you can say, is that he's obviously biased by just very clearly going and saying that the Mar-a-Lago estate was worth $18 million, when by any given account, I mean, the empty lot next to it is worth $10 million or whatever it is. Pretty crazy stuff that we have going on there for sure. Forget to welcome live on Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us on Instagram and of course our other places that we have. I just want to read this. Judge Erdogan is expected to rule against Trump any moment from now for something really bizarre. He got loans from banks. He repaid them with interest. Nobody complained ahead of the presidential election. New York State charged him allegedly with inflating his assets to get favorable loans. Going on that logic, most businesses in America would be in prison. Most business people claim they're worth more than they are. It's the job of the bank to verify that information about granting loans. It's so true. Business leaders are eternal optimists, and they are almost always, even if they don't mean to do it, inflating what their companies and everything are worth. For those who are celebrating this or claiming that it is not politically motivated, ask yourself this question: how many top business women and men are in prison in New York for getting loans and then not paying them back the loans full with interest, paying all the taxes and the salaries of their employees? If you find some, let me know. So yeah, pretty crazy situation that we have going on there. It will be interesting to see what he comes out with, and that is going to be a historic moment for the country. That is for sure. Touch a little bit more on that. I mean, just crazy, really, just crazy. Let me just get over here to my. I'm going to play this video here. Let me share my screen. This is again on the Trump case here. Oops, wrong one. Here we go. Boom. Oh, this is, I mean, they're just going after him. This is actually has to do with the CIA.
Curating the 2016 Russia collusion hoax by asking foreign intelligence agencies to illegally spy on the Trump campaign.
Lucas Tomlinson in Washington with more. Lucas.
Good early morning, Carly and Todd. This report from Substack, citing multiple unnamed sources, claims the U.S. intelligence community asked foreign spy agencies to help spy on more than 24 associates of Donald Trump in the run-up to the 2016 election. It reads in part, quote, President Barack Obama's CIA director, John Brennan, had identified 26 Trump associates for the Five Eyes to target. A source confirmed that the IC had identified them as people to bump or make contact with or manipulate. They were targets of our own IC and law enforcement, targets for collection and misinformation. Now, the Five Eyes nations are the U.S., UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Here's one of the reporters, Michael Schellenberger, who spoke to Jesse Waters last night.
If this binder contains what we have been told that it contains, which may include raw intelligence, information showing that the U.S. government, the CIA and the intelligence community of the U.S. government, initiated the Russia collusion hoax, that it did not occur in the way that the official story, including the Durham investigation, had portrayed it, then that's extremely serious information.
The report was released at the same time House conservatives are preparing a bill that would reauthorize Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act that allows the government to collect communications from foreigners abroad. And today, the House Rules Committee is set to meet over that FISA reform bill, guys.
Lucas Tomlinson, quite a bombshell. Thank you, sir.
So that actually just kind of goes along with the fact that this lawfare that they're doing here. And of course, I mean, it's just like, and I'll play more on this in a second, but it's crazy. Like they're hitting them with all sides. There's really nothing more that you can say that this is lawfare. They're just going after a political opponent. Unbelievable, really. Of course, we have Fannie Willis. Fannie is in hot seat.
Intrusive into people's personal lives. You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial.
So my question was, do you have any problem?
I object to getting any personal records of mine.
We're not dealing with privilege through a witness.
And I'm not, no, I'm not dealing with privilege. What
I mean, she's just something else here. So I will be watching very closely to see if we get a Trump ruling out. Just crazy. So the fraud trial decision is expected today. Let me just do one more search here as I do this. Simone Atiba has been doing a great job reporting on this stuff. Hats off to this guy. He's done a great job. Yeah, it's crazy. So another thing that we have going on, and of course another thing we have going on, of course, is the this guy in Russia who has gone against. Just admit they were dating. Did Fannie's dad just admit they were dating? Let me see here. My friend just put this up. Mario.
You met Ms. Willis's boyfriend, as you've characterized it, when you came here in 2019.
Correct.
And you met him on one occasion, several occasions?
Oh, no, I saw him often.
Oh, so you mean there was no secret that she was dating this man?
Not from me.
Not from you.
And he was a disc jockey of some kind. I think he had a government job during the day. I don't know what it was, but apparently he would do weddings and so forth and so on. He was a disc jockey.
You met Ms. Willis's boyfriend, as you've characterized it, when you came.
I mean, she's just on there perjuring herself right and left. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. So pretty interesting stuff here. Tucker just dropped this. The national security state is the main driver of censorship and election interference in the United States. The national security state, he's calling it. Of course, we call it the administrative state. We call it the deep state. Security state is what he's calling it, the intelligence community. is the main driver of censorship and election interference in the United States. What I'm describing is military rule, says Mike Benz. It's an inversion of democracy. So that's there's going to be some good clips that come out of that. Tucker is just doing an amazing job. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was this Russian dissident. Let's just put in Putin, see what comes up, because the amount of, and of course they're trying to get this bill passed. Okay. Craig Price. It's truly outrageous that Vladimir Putin had one of his top political opponents die in prison. I'm so glad we live in a free country where our government is only trying to imprison our president's top political opponent. Craziness. What I wanted to say about this, though, is that, if you remember, there was a reporter who just died in jail in the Ukraine. And nobody even hardly spoke about this. And so, it's just a lot of virtue. It's a lot of virtue signaling. That's what it is. It's virtue signaling. They said Putin would invade Ukraine. This is end wokeness. If Trump was elected in 2016, Putin invaded in 2022 under Joe Biden. They said Putin would kill Navalny under the Trump presidency. Putin killed him in 2024, he says under Biden. Putin wasn't lying. He wants Biden to win because he's more predictable. Now that's kind of an interesting thing. Of course, the President Putin comes out and endorses Biden the other day. Hey, look, I'll take it. And we are going into commercials there. And at Smart Money Culture TV, we'll be right back on your TVs here in about 2.5 minutes. But look, guys, this is a very smart man that we're dealing with. He knows that the media is going to run away if he endorses President Trump, and so he does the smart thing and he endorses Biden, easy peasy. And of course, Trump comes out and he's well, of course he endorses Biden. It's all a big dance, in my opinion. Obviously, I think most people that want peace, of course, want Trump. I mean, the world is at war. This is a pretty bad moment. These guys are great. The dumb wars. Oh, I gotta add this. I gotta add this to the screen.
Oh,
Hold on.
are you talking about me? No, I feel a great disturbance in the Congress. Sorry, I just farted. No, we have a new candidate for president. Oh, are you talking about me? No, I'm talking about Fetterman. Seriously? Yes, I have no doubt that Fetterman is the offspring of Joe Biden. How is this possible? Search your feelings out, Drinker. You'll know it to be true. It does make sense. Send young Fetterman to get trained by the master. Aye, skipper.
Like, totally vote for John. He's a big dumb dope.
Hey, John. Pelosi wants you to run for president.
Thanks, this is a great idea, but I'm going to
John,
pretend
the
to
dumb
be
is with
upset.
you. But if you truly want to be dumb, you got to learn how to control your dumb.
Welcome to Burger King. You want lasagna? I'm mad as hell. Me too. Get to the bottom of this.
John, I need you to go see the master.
Sloppy, whippy, wappy. I'm going to get to the
Good
bottom
luck, my old
of
friend.
this.
Can you feel it? The gum is strong with this one.
How do you know?
I can feel it.
The gum might be strong, but can he lie?
I'm not sure.
Do you want me to train him?
Adam, no one can lie like you. But there is one person.
Who?
The master.
Hey, good luck, John. The purple is the same color as the number 3. Make us proud, buddy. Suey, dooey, slashy, squishy, sock wobbles. He's gonna make a great president. Campaign money buys lots of butter. Pooh, pooh. Traitor, say what? What? I'm mad as hell, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Yeah, me too. Wink, wink.
So did John leave yet?
Yep, John's on his way to see the master right now.
Perfect.
What's going on, Nancy?
Nothing.
What is it? Tell me.
Nothing. It's just, John's gonna be president.
Really? Here we go.
What is it, Hillary?
Well, I just thought that,
What did you think?
Well, I just thought that.
Just what?
I just thought that.
What? You could be president?
Well, yes, I think I've heard that.
Well, it's never gonna happen, okay? So stop asking me.
This is so unfair.
Hillary, life isn't fair. Hey, are you the whiz kid?
Hello, goodbye.
You're a natural at this.
I can count to banana.
I need you to repeat after me.
I feel pee on my knee.
Poor kids are just as smart as white kids.
Spaceships make flights like 20.
If you don't vote for John, then you ain't black.
Duh, you say I like the fun, then poop my pants.
What? The dumbest
I
wrong
go
with
poo-poo
you.
now?
Yeah, you're ready. Let's poop together.
So did we solve the crime yet?
What crime are you talking about? Yeah, there's a lot of crime
The
going
most
on.
recent crimes. Duh.
We're not supposed to solve the crimes, Alexandria.
We're not?
No, we're just supposed to commit the crimes and then we investigate ourselves.
Oh, so that's how it works.
Yeah.
I knew I was smart.
Hey, I need some protein.
I go pee-pee now?
Hey, wait. You gotta finish your training.
I go poopies all by myself.
Looks like his training is complete. Good job, Joe.
I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. John is ready. I can smell it.
Ha 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 ha. The United Spot. They always do such a great job. That is pretty funny. If you can't laugh, you got to be able to laugh about it. I'll tell you what, it is something else. So let's talk about the markets. The markets are really they're tepid at the moment. Let me just again get back right over here. Let's take a browsing of some of these markets that we have here. The Dow has been trying to, you see it was down over about 150 points a little bit earlier. It has been trying to rebound. We had really a heck of a day in the Asian markets. And this, I would say, let me just reload this to make sure that we have a good reading. But China is really printing a lot of money here. It is very obvious. You see here the Hong Kong Stock Exchange up almost 2.5%. This number 16,339 is a big number for where we are right now. This is on the year, so you see we really bottomed out here below 15. That 15 is a psychological number for the Hang Seng index, but you see well over that, and that they're printing a lot of money. So that's it's good in the short term. You have a lot of stocks. You also have crypto. Crypto has been responding a lot from this money being printed up. Every time they print up money, what they do is they put in a tax, okay, and then they send that money. They use that money. So that's what it is. They tax everybody, and then they do whatever they were going to do to that money. And that's what happens when you print the money. It's tax, and then it's infused. Maybe it's a involuntary tax, and then it's hopefully infused in the economy. It doesn't have to be. In our case, for this 95 billion that they're trying to get past, that they're saying will come back. It'll stimulate the economy. It'll be used in arms sales, basically, but they're mostly U.S. companies. But that bill, $95 billion, which is really 98 by the time you add the amount that we have to pay the central bank, the Federal Reserve, for it, is about $1,000 per household this month. And if you remember, they already did 100 billion last month, so that was another extra $1,000. So that's an extra $1,000. Now you feel that tax in inflation, okay? So there's $1,000 extra last month, $1,000 extra this month if they pass it. And I do think they're going to pass something in some way, shape, manner, or form. They're going to figure a way to get it passed, because they really, in my opinion, don't really have much of a choice, because the central bank is going to fund the wars that we have over there, and so they're kind of, their hand is a bit pushed. Okay, so anyway, China's printing up a lot of money. We're about to print up a lot of money. The markets know it. And you can see actually here as well, up 2.5%. This one right here, okay, I just want to make sure I'm on. And this is the China Growth Economy Index, okay? And you can see quite a big push up here. Let's look at the 1 month, and you can kind of see. So we're at the highs right now. Now the issue is, I mean, there's a lot of issues here, but printing money in the short term works well. When you print money in the short term, it works well. The problem is that, of course, as that money gets in there and it feels in the inflation, you're still in the same spot. You didn't actually produce anything. You didn't manufacture anything. You didn't make any money. You just printed up more. You stole it from the people, but now the people don't have it, so they're not going to be able to spend it. You're just able to spend it. The government is able to spend it, right? So it's a short-term fix, and then the next time when they need money, they have to print even more, and that's the way it works. The U.S. dollar has continued to gain on the Japanese currency there, Japanese yen. That is to be expected. Of course, Japan is in recession now, officially in recession, as well as now the UK is in recession. And speaking of that, here, I'll just show you. This is Great British Pound. This it'll show red because it's the other way around. But this is the pound losing to the dollar. Matt Dixon, who joins us in the morning on their Impact Money show, he has predicted that the dollar will pass the pound this year, over the next year anyway. He has predicted that, and that will really be something else. We can go out on, I don't know. I mean, gosh, for all time, I'm not sure. Has it ever been? Yes. No. Okay. So in 1985, it dipped down to 115. It has never been below the dollar, and pretty bold prediction by Matt Dixon. He's at MD Trade on X. He's a very good trader, makes a lot of money with trading. Speaking of that, I should add that you guys, we did set up a deal for everybody. Learn how to trade. Go to learnhowtotrade.club. Use discount code TRADESMART10. Learnhowtotrade.club and trade with us. Matt Dixon is leading the way there. He's a very highly successful trader. Made a lot of money last year. I can tell you, he hasn't said it on the air, so I won't share what he made last year. But one of the most successful traders I've ever known. 95% of people that are trading in the markets lose money. So 95%. So there's only 5% of people that make money while trading, and he is one of them. Consistently makes money. Learn how to trade.club. Okay, I'll just actually show that real quick, and then I'm going to go back. Learn how to trade.club, and then I'm going to go back to my my charts and stuff here. But this is him right here, Matt Dixon, good friend of mine as well. We've made a lot of money together. Learn how to trade. Dive into Matt Dixon's 30 years of trading expertise through our 10-module course designed for all levels and proven in the toughest markets. Make sure to grab your 10% discount there. Trades with an S, or no, it's Trade Smart. No extra S, just one S. Trade Smart 10. Trade Smart 10, okay? And make sure to take advantage of that. We'll be going through a lot of that stuff. That also gives you access to, let me just scroll down here. This guy right here, he's a big guy as well. Psychology and trading. Meet Scott Stevenson, the mindset specialist. With 25 years experience, he guides clients from Ironman athletes to government officials in mastering mindset for effective decision-making in trading and high-pressure situations. Scott's holistic approach blends composure, evidence-based strategies, and well-being, making him a key mentor in demanding environments. So check that out. I think that there's a few different options here: beginner, basic, standard, accelerator. Obviously, if you do have the money, you should go ahead and go for it. But you can start low, and you can always move up from there. And this also gives you direct access to the eVay platform, and the eVay platform gives you live ratings. And I think they still need to. I got to give. I need to give our friend here a hard time because mine's not upgraded yet. But you can see here we have a ratings platform, Eve.io. I do endorse this platform. Very, very good platform using AI and machine learning to predict market trends. And as these start to switch, like you can see right here, Bitcoin was at an A1 and now is at a B2, and that was a recent change. Previously an A1. Okay, so it's a recent change, and you can see a bit of a pullback in the market, which our friend Matt has been predicting. Of course, it's not that hard to predict when you've gone up this high that you would have a pullback. Of course, that that makes sense. And just to give you an idea of that, and it doesn't mean that it's going to happen right now. I've been around long enough to tell you that markets are emotional as well as predictable. But you can see we do have a bit of a pullback here. When the market is going up like this, it's very risky to buy up here. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. Okay, there's also a lot going on in the world, and one of the ways that historically our Federal Reserve has taken money out of circulation. So they mint the money, they use the money, then that money is in circulation, and they want to get it out of circulation in order to curb inflation, and so that you don't have the money to spend. And one way that they have historically done it very well is through commodities like Bitcoin. They'll bring the price of the commodity way up here. They'll drop that price very much a lot. And now you have all the big guys in with the ETFs. And of course, the government, the US government, is actually one of the largest holders of Bitcoin. So it's quite easy for them to do this stuff. They crash the market, and then they'll buy back all of their assets at a much lower price. And all that money in between, and a lot of people don't understand this, you got to kind of use both sides of your brain, but all that money in between is basically gone. It's poof, it's whatever. Now you could argue that they have it, sure, okay, yes. But it is in all effects gone, and they've done that very effectively. It's one of the ways that they remove money from circulation. And if you don't think that the central bank trades, then I don't know what to tell you, because that is one of actually their stated jobs. They do trade, and it was kind of a secret, I guess, for a while, and they didn't talk about it. And then of course they were kind of called out for some crazy trading stuff that they did. All right, so back to one of my favorite sites here. So yeah, and now let's look at the to the euro, because the rest of the world, of course, is printing out of control as well. Euro is also dropping on the dollar here, which is to be expected. The dollar is strengthening for a number of reasons. One of the main reasons is that it is still the world's reserve currency. And as the world's reserve currency, when there's conflict in the world, when things are happening and people are unsettled, they will run to the dollar because that is the reserve currency. And we're backing it up, of course, by our bonds. That's how it works. Now, I think interest rates are held high. You can see crude here trading at 79. It just flipped into the 79 territory right there. I think that I think this will continue to go higher, first of all, and as that goes higher, I expect that is going to play into inflation as well. It really has no choice but to play into inflation. Okay, so as that goes up over $80, $80 is kind of a psychological spot. That $80 range, as we go over $80, psychologically, people will start to think, okay, now prices are going to go up at the pump. As the prices go up at the pump, that is, of course, going to play into inflation. It raises the cost of everything. It raises the cost of bringing the goods. It raises the cost of making the goods, food, everything. Okay, so right now we have high interest rates, or higher interest rates, I should say, and that is playing into keeping the dollar strong. It remains to be seen with the CPI data that came out earlier this week, what they're going to do. It seems, obviously they want people to have more money. It's an election year, but nothing would surprise me here. Natural gas up nearly 2%. Natural gas has taken a beating this month. You can see that graph. Let me just toggle this thing to the 1 month. I'm not sure if it was really because of the Houthis. I mean, $3 $3 over here at the beginning of the month, down, or at the beginning of the year. I'm sorry. Whatever. 1 month. This is 1 month from end to end. So mid-January, down to, I mean, we went down 100%, down to 160 almost, 150 almost, I should say. Unbelievable drop in that. I think a lot of it that has to do with the Houthis. You have the Houthis that are disrupting the shipping lanes, which is a large shipping lane for natural gas, and they use that quite a bit. And you have the Houthis over there with really no end in sight. They are able to disrupt the shipping channels over there quite effectively, and it doesn't seem to matter how many millions we throw at it, because trust me, it's a lot. We're throwing a lot, millions of dollars over there. Don't think it's not. I mean, each ship is, I don't know how many millions of dollars to run that ship a day, but it's a lot. So that's happening, and it doesn't seem like anything that we're doing is really doing that much to curb what's going on there. So we'll see how that happens. I think that you have Iran over there with the Houthis, and they're obviously backing them. So we're gonna probably who knows? We more than likely hit Iran's another. I think it was probably a natural gas line, but I'm not sure of it. The other day. So let me switch over to this tab right here. Let me just see if I can find that. So I would think more than likely it was the U.S. that hit this gas line. Now this is interesting. I don't know if you guys saw this. Why do you think so many Chinese people are? Since I'm just going to kind of click through this because that music is obviously trademarked, and I don't want to get the video to not be able to be used on YouTube. But you can see that, pretty crazy. We are about to go into commercials here in the next couple of minutes on Smart Money Culture TV. So I want to thank you guys for joining on Smart Money Culture TV. It really is a special thing that we have going on there. And actually, I'll just show you here. You can also watch us on Smart Money Culture TV. So if you are in Texas or Louisiana and you're not near your TV, you can watch us on smartmoneyculture.tv. And just to talk a little bit about that as well, what we're doing with Smart Money Culture is very, very interesting. And if you want to get your yourself or your products on television, it is something very special. Now, I understand I don't watch TV, so I really don't watch TV anymore. I got sick of the news, but that's me personally. The average person watches a lot of TV, and actually now that we're infusing citizen journalists, I guess I'm still a citizen journalist. I'm on TV. Maybe I'm not a citizen journalist anymore. I've hit the big time. No, but the signal that we have there in Texas, and now we're adding Tallahassee, Florida is coming soon, and we're in Lake Charles, of course, and thanks for joining us there. So Houston, Texas, Corpus Christi, Texas, Lake Charles, Louisiana, Tallahassee, Florida, Beaumont, Texas, and College Station. Signal reaches 7 million people. 30% watch local TV. So it's 2.3 million potential viewers that we have there in our place. Now, some interesting statistics about television. Okay, and this is where's my just want to make sure this is. And so if you have a product or something that are interested in getting on here, it is an interesting proposition. Okay, the average person spends 1,500 hours per year watching television. That's 1,500 hours watching TV. That breaks down to 62.5 days of the year of the viewer's attention. The internet, newspapers, and magazines are all under 200 hours per year each, for comparison. Okay, so this is like, TV is one of those things, people have it on in the background. A lot of people, we do a 5 a.m. show there in Louisiana and Texas, and now coming Tallahassee, and we're adding more. But a lot of people, they'll get ready for work and they'll just have us going on in the background. We'll talk about the news, we'll talk about finance, we'll talk about these other types of things. Okay. And so that's something very special. It's something different. And then, of course, we go over the news and everything that's coming off of social media, which makes it even that much more powerful. This is a cost-effective and direct way to get your message out and promote your business at the same time, especially compared to traditional advertising, billboards, magazines, newspapers. Give you some more television stats. TV's ROI is $6 for every $1 spent. So that is an amazing ROI on your money, or your return on investment. $6 for every $1 spent for TV. Okay, 80% of the U.S. population is watching TV at any given moment. That's crazy, right? The typical person spends 2 hours per day watching TV. Now, that's unbelievable to me. The baby boomers lead the way. Approximately 80 million Americans who were born between 1944 and 1966 account for roughly half of all of those people. There's good sales. Almost 230 billion are bought by this group, and they control 70% of the USA's disposable income. So not only are we reaching a great audience, but this is an audience with disposable income, and they have money to use. They have money to put into places. There's 119 million households, TV households in the U.S., and I use that number as well to talk about how many. When I figure out that these certain bills cost us $1,000 per household in inflation, and that's the stuff they're not telling you about. That's what I'm talking about. I take that number and do my division there. 180%. So I know that number is correct. 180% more people will use TV in a week than go to Facebook per month. Now, of course, Facebook, right? I mean, my mom and everybody's still on Facebook. I logged in the other day and posted a new photo with my girls, but I'm not usually on there. We do stream on Facebook on Networks Manager. So if you are on there, check it out. Networks Manager. We're streaming. 50% more people will watch TV than go to Google in a month in the U.S. 61 million. It has in parentheses. 20% more people will watch TV in a week than will use the internet in a month in the U.S. 20% more people. So we're talking like this is massive. I mean, the growth of the internet is great. It's huge. That's what we're that's what we're leveraging, and that's what we're building here. We plan a Smart Money Culture TV to be in front of 50 million people before the end of the year. Adding Tallahassee is another big step to that. Over 89% of TV viewers are registered voters, and they vote in primaries. Over 89% of TV viewers are registered voters and vote in the primaries. It's a very important number there. 78% of Americans feel that TV can make a difference in their community. 94% of Black non-Hispanic persons and 95% of Hispanic persons age 12 plus watch TV over the course of the week. TV reaches 95% of Black and Hispanics and 96% of Hispanics, of Black non-Hispanics, and 96% of Hispanics aged 25 to 54 over the course of a week. That's pretty interesting. The average person spends 1,500 hours per year watching television. That's the number I gave you at the beginning. Pretty interesting stuff. So what we're doing at Smart Money Culture TV is we're growing this out. We want everybody to, want to be involved. If you are watching on your TV, we are back on TV. We took a little break there for commercials. We are back. Thanks for joining us. No, actually, no, not quite back. We'll be back in just a second. But it is powerful. It is powerful stuff. And I see Gordon Einstein. What's up, bro? We missed our interview. You got to hop on and you get on TV. We're in the 4th largest economy in the world. Gordon Einstein just joined on Instagram. I just scrolled over and saw that. Now he's smiling. Maybe join us tomorrow if it works out for you. We'll come on. We'll bring you on 3 p.m. Dubai time. That'll be fun. Okay, so now we are back. We are back. Thanks for joining us in Texas, in Louisiana, on Smart Money Culture TV, on your local stations there. We really appreciate it. We are adding Tallahassee and a few other people. Fly Mackey has done quite a great job putting that all together. Let's scroll over here. I just want to check and see if we have some information. I'm going to bring this right back up on Trump. Do we have anything out yet? Trump. Do we have anything out of New York here? Let's see. Nothing yet, it looks like. We are still expecting it. They're probably on lunch, deciding what to do. Seoul, I just got a note on my thing. The Seoul price has increased by 400%, which we know. That's not right, though, 400%. It's increased by 10x. I know that. Oh, 400% in the last little bit. Okay, I get that. Statement from Trump. In just 3 years, under crooked Joe Biden, the world has experienced misery, destruction, and death. America is no longer respected because we have an incompetent president who is weak and doesn't understand what the world is thinking. I am the only one who can bring peace, prosperity, and stability like I did in my first term. America will be respected and feared if necessary. Again, that's from Donald Trump. Donald, he does not like to post from X anymore now that he has his own platform there, Truth Social. So everybody else posts for him. So nothing out about that yet. I am keeping an eye. They probably, more than likely, they will have something coming out over the after lunch. Take a quick look here again at Bitcoin. I think this is continuing to slide a little bit here. 51,959. Now, again, we are in lunch time. We're in lunch break right here. Let's do it. Gordon Einstein says, let's do it. All right, so let's good prompt to reconnect. Yes, so let's hopefully we'll have Gordon Einstein, the great Gordon Einstein, join us tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. in Dubai. If you're watching on LinkedIn, we have multiple people, of course, that join us on LinkedIn as well. Gordon Einstein, good friend of mine, is a crypto lawyer, lives in Dubai now. Really, really great guy, really smart guy. We've spent some good times together, and I think he just got married. He just got married, as a matter of fact. So he's doing really well, and that's gonna be fun. That'll be fun. Okay, so that's what Bitcoin's doing. Ethereum, of course, is dropping as well. Now, what I normally look at a lot of times is I will look at the altcoins, and that'll kind of indicate a lot of times where things are going. Now, this doesn't mean that it couldn't go up higher, but when you see look over here, this is the daily, right? We have a big push up, and then we filled in the gaps. There's a big push up over here, and then we fill in the gaps. Okay, this is normally how things work. So we've had a pretty big push up here. Let's face it, let's big push up. We've had a big push up, and we should historically fill in the gaps. Now, you never, that's what the charts are telling us. Doesn't mean that's going to happen. That's the dog. That's the Dogecoin right there. You can see. So we should. If I bring this out to the weekly, we should fill in the gaps. Now, same time, Bitcoin goes parabolic. Okay, it's a totally new asset class. There's tons and tons of money flowing into it. It may not have a pullback for a while. So keep that in mind. Set your trailing stop losses. Go to learnhowtotrade.com .club. Learnhowtotrade.club. Use the discount code TradeSmart10. Trade with us. Trade with us, as I said, at Cost Metals here. Let's add. Can I add at Cost Metals? We have to. Let's hide this one. Here we go. Oh, I can run them at the same time. All right, I'm just learning. Oh, at Cost Metals. Go to atcostmetals.com, use the referral links clubs, and get gold, silver, palladium, platinum at cost. Join the club. We're launching. We already have a nice network there built in. And that's a very nice platform. Okay. And that is going to be something else. We continue to as well build on Global Boost. Global Boost is a chain that we started back in 2014, back when Bitcoin was a couple $100, even less really when we really started working on it. And we've put a lot of Bitcoins in there. There's a lot of good energy. There's a lot of mining. It's a mineable currency. And I encourage you to go there and get involved. We're setting up media nodes, decentralized media nodes, building the new decentralized media, doing for media what Bitcoin did for currency. We also have Booster Live, Booster with no E, Booster.live, and that is the highest tech end-to-end encryption. There's no middleman. It's web. It goes from phone to phone. I can show you my server when you're video chatting on it. None of that waits on my server. It's really going from phone to phone. So check that stuff out. Okay, pretty cool. If you follow this link directly right here at costmetals.club, that should forward right to our referral link for at costmetals. So pretty interesting stuff here. We still have, I'm just kind of keeping my eye on Trump here, if anything's coming out. One of the reasons why we're in this situation with our country where we're unable to get ourselves out of this mess is because the central bank has taken over. Central bank has taken over the country. And it's a crazy situation that we have here. And that is, we have to get that under control. If we don't get that under control, there's really not much that we can do. I'm going to just talk a little bit about the history of our central bank. Our central bank is the Federal Reserve. Okay. And the Federal Reserve, there's nothing federal about the Federal Reserve. Okay. It is a central bank. I got a couple of clips here that I'm going to play. Here we go. Boom.
So what is a central bank? A central bank is an institution that produces the currency of an entire nation. Based on historical precedent, two specific powers are inherent in central banking practice: the control of interest rates and the control of the money supply, or inflation. The central bank does not simply supply a government's economy with money, it loans it to them at interest. Then, through the use of increasing and decreasing the supply of money, the central bank regulates the value of the currency being issued. It is critical to understand that the entire structure of this system can only produce one thing in the long run: debt. It doesn't take a lot of ingenuity to figure this scam out. For every single dollar produced by the central bank is loaned at interest. That means every single dollar produced is actually the dollar plus a certain percent of debt based on that dollar. And since the central bank has the monopoly over the production of the currency for the entire country, and they loan each dollar out with immediate debt attached to it, where does the money to pay for the debt come from? It can only come from the central bank again, which means the central bank has to perpetually increase its money supply to temporarily cover the outstanding debt created, which in turn, since that new money is loaned out at interest as well, creates even more debt. The end result of this system without fail is slavery, for it is impossible for the government and thus the public to ever come out of the self-generating debt. At this time, the dominant families in the banking and business world were the Rockefellers, the Morgans, the Warburgs, the Rothschilds. And in the early 1900s, they sought to push once again legislation to create another central bank. However, they knew the government and public were very weary of such an institution, so they needed to create an incident to affect public opinion. So, J.P. Morgan, publicly considered a financial luminary at the time, exploited his mass influence by publishing rumors that a prominent bank in New York was insolvent or bankrupt. Morgan knew this would cause mass hysteria, which would affect other banks as well. And it did. The public, in fear of losing their deposits, immediately began mass withdrawals. Consequently, the banks were forced to call in their loans, causing the recipients to sell their property, and thus a spiral of bankruptcies, repossessions, and turmoil emerged. Putting the pieces together a few years later, Frederick Allen of Life magazine wrote, "The Morgan interests took advantage to precipitate the panic, guiding it shrewdly as it progressed." Unaware of the fraud, the Panic of 1907 led to a congressional investigation headed by Senator Nelson Aldrich, who had intimate ties to the banking cartels and later became part of the Rockefeller family through marriage. The commission, led by Aldrich, recommended a central bank should be implemented so a panic like 1907 could never happen again. And in 1913, with heavy political sponsorship by the bankers, Woodrow Wilson became president, having already agreed to sign the Federal Reserve Act in exchange for campaign support. And 2 days before Christmas, when most of Congress was at home with their families, the Federal Reserve Act was voted in, and Wilson in turn made it law. A world banking system was being set up here, a superstate controlled by international bankers, acting together to enslave the world for their own pleasure. The Fed has usurped the government. Now, the public was told that the Federal Reserve System was an economic stabilizer, and inflation and economic crises were a thing of the past. Well, as history has shown, nothing is further from the truth. The fact is, the international bankers now had a streamlined machine to expand their personal ambitions. For example, from 1914 to 1919, the Fed increased the money supply by nearly 100%, resulting in extensive loans to small banks and the public. Then, in 1920, the Fed called in mass percentages of the outstanding money supply, thus resulting in the supporting banks having to call in huge numbers of loans, and just like 1907, bank runs, bankruptcy, and collapse occurred. Over 5,400 competitive banks outside of the Federal Reserve System collapsed, further consolidating the monopoly of the small group of international bankers. Privy to this crime, Congressman Lindbergh stepped up and said in 1921, "Under the Federal Reserve Act, panics are scientifically created. The present panic is the first scientifically created one, worked out as we figure a mathematical equation." However, the Panic of 1920 was just a warm-up. From 1921 to 1929, the Fed again increased the money supply, resulting once again in extensive loans to the public and banks. There was also a fairly new type of loan called a margin loan in the stock market. Very simply, the margin loan allowed an investor to put down only 10% of a stock's price, with the other 90% being loaned through the broker. In other words, a person could own $1,000 worth of stock with only $100 down. However, there was a catch to this loan. It could be called in at any time and had to be paid within 24 hours. This is termed a margin call, and the typical result of a margin call is the selling of the stock purchased with the loan. So, a few months before October in 1929,
So we're about to go off TV there in Texas, Louisiana, about 20 minutes to 20 seconds to wrap things up. I want to thank you for joining Smart Money Culture TV. It is a pleasure. We will have our weekend off and we'll be back on your TV 5 a.m. on Monday morning with the Impact Live show. And of course, 11 a.m. with the Porter Brothers show. And hopefully as well, 6 p.m. trying to get that across the line with my man Fly Mackey. He already agreed to it. So he's stuck. See you guys soon. Have a great weekend. I love you. And thanks for tuning in. Cheers.